Coming up on the show, we chat to Beauden Barrett and get the real story behind those black eyes. Plus, Andrew Mehrtens joins us from Australia to chat that last-ditch effort against Le Blues. And we get the size charts out and measure up Fijian flyer Nemani Nadolo. Tēnā koutou katoa, good evening and welcome into Sky Rugby Club. Well, it's a big day. Brodie Retallick is back.
Yes, the guzzler!
Great day for international rugby. Joey Wheeler, Christina Sue, aka Suey, Israel Dag. Anyone been up watching those Euros? It's coming home, or is it?
How good, I tell you what. It's coming home. Joey, what's coming home? The mace. With the black cat.
It's coming
the black back from England, yeah. So
the biggest news at the moment, though, is the football world. Suey, did you get up and watch it? You're probably up all night anyway, being a new mother and everything.
To be honest, I didn't, but I am up quite a lot during the night feeding. I did watch the Wallabies, though. That went quite late during the night last night, so can't really claim the got up behind it. all this carry on
biggest
that you're doing.
flop in history from the English, but they got the job done.
They did. They're into the final Monday morning. There you go. International rugby, though, South Africa, the British and Irish Lions tour. Is it or isn't it going to go ahead, Joey? Because COVID is rampaging through those teams at the moment.
Well, I mean, I can't see it. I think it will. They've invested too much into it. They've already delayed it by a year. But 14 members of that Lions team, Suey, in isolation, 2 confirmed cases. You've got to think, with the way it's going through that South African team too, I wouldn't have thought they'll be able to get this off the ground.
No, I don't see it going ahead. I think, obviously, health is most important. And, you know, it's a shame for the Lions. You know, they only get out to South Africa once every, 12 years, is it?
Yeah.
So, but that's COVID for you and how it's affecting not just... everywhere.
Do you think
South
Africa have had limited preparation for this? That old Diane from 1995 has gone in there and planted it.
Oh,
Joey.
mate, you can't be throwing those sort of accusations.
Well, I'm just thinking,
it's ridiculous. It's not the cup of tea again, damn it.
All right, mate, sorry.
Get over it, mate. That was 95.
We'll move on.
Well, we're moving on, and we're going to go across the ditch first and foremost. The Wallabies kicked off their test season with a very, very narrow victory over France at Suncorp Stadium last night. France blew it in the 83rd minute. Australia, Noah Lolosio kicked it right in front, a penalty. And we're actually going to bring in Andrew Mehrtens now. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, Mertz. But talk us through that one. What did you make of the Wallabies?
Yeah, kia ora tātou. Yeah, it was an interesting game. Both teams looked a little bit nervous and made a few mistakes, and it was really good drama, though. You know, it was nice to get right down to the wire, and a kick to Noah Lolosio after the buzzer. So it was, you know, pretty dramatic, which was good. Australians very happy to come out with the win, of course, but the French will be saying, "How did we lose that?" You know, we've seen French teams in the past. I'm sure we've all seen them from 8 or 9 minutes out when they're a point or 2 points up, and they just hold on to the ball, go close to the ruck, soak up the time. This one here, they're throwing it around all over the show. And McDermott bounced, and a few phases of composure later, and it's Lolosio right in the front. So, look, it was really good drama, really good action. Encouraged to know that Suey was up last night watching me till all hours, so thanks for that.
Yeah, it was drama for all the wrong reasons, I think. It was entertaining, but you wonder those high-pressured moments, Mertzy. What do you think's the next steps for the Wallabies? I mean, they look... I think the Pacifica boys looked impressive, but where do you think Rennie's going to go next with that Wallabies outfit?
I think they just need time together, to be honest. If you look at their 9 through 13, for example, they covered 4 out of the 5 Australian Super Rugby teams, you know, so they're building combinations. They've got individual talent. They did look at times last night when it got disjointed that they were playing as individuals. So that just takes a little bit of time. There's no doubting they've got the talent, but you know, they just made a few too many mistakes early on. If there's one thing Dave Rennie will probably get teams out of is making silly mistakes. He's pretty hard-nosed. So, you know, they know they've got a lot to improve on. So do the French. The French will think, gee, we weren't out of that game. We were leading. We should have won it. So, you know, the next game's Tuesday night from Melbourne, and then for a potential decider in Brisbane again on the Saturday. So, you know, it's a really, really good series. But like I say, both teams played like they did have quite a lot to lose last night. So that was encouraging, you know, the intensity.
Kia ora, Uncle. Obviously, we saw what it meant at the end of that game to the Australian players, their raw emotion, the celebrations that they did at the end of that game. What does this do for Australian rugby and the belief for their group going forward?
Well, it just gives, yeah, exactly that. It's belief and a little bit of confidence. You know, you've got a lot of new players. We saw a lot of new players being brought into Super Rugby, and now, you know, some of that younger breed coming through into the Wallabies. Michael Hooper, of course, was there as well, 106th cap, which is almost as many as the entire French squad put together. So, you know, he's got that experience, but he's got a lot of young talent around him, and it's just bringing that out. And I guess being judicious at that test level, bringing your individuality, bringing your strengths, but not doing it in too silly a manner. And they were not far off on a lot of times. You know, Hunter Paisami, his best position for me, I think, is 12, but he was one further out at 13. He hit some beautiful moments. He's got some great skills, good kicking skills. Reminds me very much of a Ngani Laumape. You know, he's a block-busting player, but he's suddenly got all these beautiful little nuanced abilities and little kicks and beautiful hands and stuff like that. So he's going to be a really strong Wallaby for the future for them. So, you know, they can be encouraged. It wasn't perfect, but they got out there with a win, and sometimes getting an ugly win's quite good, isn't it? You'll know all about that, Izzy. Most of you.
100%, brother.
Kia ora, Mert. Good to see you've got out of the flight simulator just to join us. But I wanted to touch on, you touched on Michael Hooper, 106 caps. He's been overplaying for Toyota Ver Blitz in Japan. But he just looked like last night that he'd been playing a whole season of Super Rugby. He just seamlessly sort of fitted back into Test rugby.
Yeah, he's a fantastic professional, isn't he? And he's got that much experience that there was little doubt he was probably going to get back into it. I think the game helped them. The French were quite keen to have a stop-start game. They were happy going from set piece to penalty. They wanted to break up the rhythm of the game. So that might have helped Michael Hooper as well, sort of reintegrate into Test rugby. But yeah, he was fantastic. And he just showed his worth. He doesn't go chasing lost causes. He's like those best, pilferers like Richie and George Smith and the likes, Pocock. They pick their moments and they make it count. They don't go trying to steal the ball all the time. And just there were a couple of big moments where Hooper stood up and no less so than when he scored the try between his legs. I wasn't sure about the legality of it. I tend not to watch the ruck anyway, but he was there on the side of the ruck. I think it was all of 10 centimetres that he had to move the ball through his legs, but it was a really crucial score for the Wallabies, and it really got them back into it.
Always insightful, always brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us, Mertz.
Cheers, Captain.
I'm back to the Atari now. Forget this newfangled stuff.
Atari, Nintendo, what is it?
Sega Mega Drive.
That's what you were all about back in the day.
100%. I love a game.
OK, well, let's move on now to the All Blacks. Their 23 was named today. Very different. 13 changes to the starting 15. A new captain as well in Aaron Smith, but one big name and a big body as well. Brodie Retallick returns in that number 5 jersey. Ethan Blackadder starting at 7 in his second test. Aaron Smith there with the captaincy armband, and Beauden Barrett as well. On the bench, Ethan de Groot will make his debut for the All Blacks. He's from Goran. Joey, I expect you'll have a big contingent from his family coming up for this one.
Yeah, by all accounts, and from the accounts of the media, he was giving some pretty short and sharp answers today. When he fronted, they had to ask him about 40 questions before they got a 2-minute soundbite out.
Always throws that up, though.
I just think what an awesome experience for Ethan to get his debut down in Dunedin in front of his family. The whole of Gore, they've already said it, they're all coming up. They'll be filling that stadium. But I think it's a credit to him and the change of attitude he's had this year. Everyone saw the talent down south that he had coming out of high school and the obvious size that he's got. But it's those professional habits off the field, Dagger, that can then turn into being, turn that little bit of talent into something really, really special. But for you, you've been here before. You've been that kid sitting in the hotel room before your debut.
Yeah.
How will Ethan de Groot be feeling ahead of the biggest game of his career so far?
Oh, he'll be extremely excited. Let's not lie about that. But he'll be extremely nervous as well. I always remember that first moment. You get named, you're like, oh my gosh, am I ready for this? It's my time, my moment's here. He'll probably be rooming with a guy like Dane Coles. He's on the bench with Ethan de Groot, so the reality is they're probably going to come on together. So that'll keep him relaxed and kind of just keep his mind off the big game, because as a young guy, you can always tend to think ahead, play the game before you get out there, and it burns you out. So for him, he'll be extremely excited. And what a moment. And those tickets ain't cheap, too. So he only gets 4 tickets at home game. Imagine paying a $300 ticket for all his family. So it's a pretty special moment.
He's got plenty. So another guy that I'm excited to see go around and get his start this weekend is Ethan Blackadder. But in sort of an unfamiliar position of 7. I suppose we've seen him generally in the 6 jersey, but for you, how's he going to have to change his game, or is he going to have to change his game at all?
I think his performance speaks volumes, and having that versatility in the back row. What we know about his strengths is he's always in support play. He's got a big ticker, a big engine, and we know that sevens is a specialist position. Mertzi alluded to it before about when do they pillage, when do they hunt for ball. So it'll be interesting to see what his decision making is like and whether he can steal ball, at that 7 position. But he's been playing really well.
I think that versatility was what got him over the line. Realised they've got unbelievable sixes in the environment. So Tutu, Akira Ioane, and Ethan Blackadder being able to play 7, and he's actually a genuine line-out option as well. So that probably got him over the line, and looking forward to seeing the big man play.
Joey, 98 tests for Aaron Smith, and he gets to captain this All Black side. How will he be feeling ahead of this one?
Well, Nuggie is chomping at the bit before any test match, before any game, like be it a conditioning game on a Monday at training, let alone a test match. So he'll be fizzed, but I think the great thing about Nug in the last couple of years, what we've seen, the development in him down at the Highlanders, is actually leadership has got the best out of his performances. So we always know that he leads so well through his voice, but now we're seeing that replicated with his actions as well, and he's not talking probably as much as what he maybe used to, although he still talks a little bit too much to us.
It's the job of a halfback, Joey. It's what you do.
Yeah, that is, you're right. Yeah,
it is.
It is your job. But yeah, I'm really excited for him, and to do it again at home, it's really special for him and his family. Yeah,
absolutely.
Really excited.
And next to him, that combination, the old 9-10 is back. Beauden Barrett joins us now live from Dunedin. We're very lucky to have him. And he's sporting 2 new black eyes. Bodie, what's the real story behind this one? Because on social media during the week, you said that dad life is getting the better of you. But I don't think you can blame your daughter Billy, because your wife Hannah has blamed Ethan Blackadder. So what's the story?
Yeah, well, I mean, before the injury, I was getting a few more bags than I had previous years, and now Billy's actually sleeping really well, so I can't blame it on the dad life. Ethan Blackadder just sconed me with his elbow in the back of a ruck, which made my eyes water on Saturday night, so it's all good.
Konnichiwa, Bodie. I bet you're enjoying being back in the All Blacks camp, mate. How have you found the shift in intensity as opposed to Suntory?
The intensity was really high at the Suntory camp, and especially around how organised they are and the work ethic of the Japanese. So coming back, I mean, the intensity of All Black or international rugby is obviously higher, but yeah, I was impressed up there. As Joey, you'd know, mate, the level is very high when it comes to training and intensity at Suntory.
Kia ora, Bodie. You and Richie are both really great first 5/8s. My question to you is, what do you see as your key difference when you're playing at 10 as opposed to 15?
I don't like talking about myself, to be honest, but gosh,
Lies.
I'd let you be the judge. You see how we play. Yeah, I guess we both like to run the ball when given the opportunities. You know, we like to do some nice flat kicking, attacking kicks. I guess our attacking mentality is quite similar, but how we do it, I guess, depends on the opportunities we take during the game. Some would have more things in common, like Rich likes to attack out the back of a pot of forwards a bit more than I do. I sort of pick my opportunities when I have a bit more space.
Well, Bez, the Guzzler. How's it been having old Guzzler back in the environment, and has he been his same old pesty self in training?
Yeah, he's a shocker. Even in clarity sessions, walkthroughs, he'll come through the ruck and clean out a halfback, and it's just always that niggle, that edge, which is great, which keeps everyone on their toes, because you need more of that in this environment, keeping everyone honest.
Bodie, Nuggie's obviously the captain this week. I know with the extra responsibility at the Landers, we found that his talking levels went through the roof. Is that the case in the All Blacks camp as well?
He's probably been talking less, which is a bit of a concern.
No.
But no, he's been great. We're all very excited for him. He knows that he has good leaders around him, and he won't be overdoing anything other than an extra relationship, talking to the ref. So yeah, we're all excited. We'll be right behind him, and what a great place to be doing it at Forsyth Bar.
Well, Baz, Wednesday golf, we know it's part of the routine. There's so many golfers in the environment at the moment. Is this a way to get away from the pressure, and who's leading the way on the golf course?
The standard's pretty good. There's probably half a dozen shooting under 80. So, and the group of golfers has grown out to about 12. So a lot more than probably what you and I were used to a few years back, mate, when we just had our four ball.
Thank you so much for joining us, Bodie. We really,
He's
really
so
appreciate
humble,
it.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's so humble.
Is he?
He's not
Oh,
humble.
you guys tell me.
Talk us through those golf scores from St Clair yesterday. Put them into perspective.
Oh, man, there's some unbelievable golfers in there. So Beauden Barrett's a scratch golfer. If you any golfers out there, it's like professional. Bodie's probably off a 3, D-Max off a 5. I think they're all single figures, so pretty impressive.
Where do you stack up?
I'm off a 5 at the moment.
Right,
but
not a scratch yet.
Not a scratch yet. I don't play as much
Getting
as those
there.
And I'm
guys.
hearing
They play every
some
week.
good oil that Geordie went par, 71 yesterday.
Yeah.
That's
So he's-
unbelievable.
He's par. So he's
Ridiculous.
Well done, Geordie Barrett.
Yeah.
Okay, well, from the...
What can't he do?
Exactly. From the current stars to the stars of the future, the Arataki all-girls rugby team, and they've got some pretty famous coaches as well. Check this one out.
How good.
And we're in Mount Maunganui, under 9s, Arataki. The girls starting in a girls team. It's exciting for them. It's our second year tackle, so we started together Ripper, and then the girls just enjoyed it. So we carried on, and now that it's the second year, yeah, we're just wanting to improve their skills and just get out and have some fun. You can kick, India, okay? Yeah? Go, chase!
They're growing more, they're inspiring each other more, and they're really enjoying it a lot. So as a team, they love it, and it's exciting. And playing against boys, they don't have any problem. It's just, they're a bit harder to tackle.
Good tackle.
Versing the boys is just fun, and then like the boys just get a surprise to see that we're only a girls team. I like being in the girls team because I don't feel like being a boys team, and then I'll know how it feels to be in a girls team when I grow up. Well, there's more girls and not boys, and they muck around and stuff. So it's easier for the girls so that we can focus. I like rugby because it's a good sport and you run a lot and you get tackled, and it's really fun, and it's my favourite sport. Renee is a really good coach, and she's really helpful and teaches us a lot of things, and it just makes us play better. Well, she's taught me how to kick and stuff, and pass properly.
Go, Prilia.
She's a good one.
For Renee and I, we just love being able to be a part of the girls' lives, to be here and amongst these girls who are potentially the future Black Ferns of Aotearoa is really cool. If we can keep them together for the next 5-10 years, then we're really onto something.
For me, I hope that we get to encourage other girls to come and play rugby. I do see a lot more girls playing, but it'll be cool to see a lot more girls teams in our grade. So it's good to see some girls, some young girls getting amongst it, but it'll be cool to get a lot more.
I know I'm getting a little bit emotional in my old age, but that story warms my heart, Zoe. 80k hard.
Yeah, now it's so awesome to see Portia Punga or Renee give back to their community and coaching, and it just shows the impact that they're having on those little girls. And I remember Sumo, Scotty Stevenson, a few years back for the Black Ferns, he presented the jersey, and it was such an emotional jersey presentation, one that I'll never forget, because he said to us, you know, you Black Ferns, he actually said, the All Blacks give young boys hope, whereas you Black Ferns give young girls power. And I thought, my gosh, and in that room you could hear a pin drop, tears were flowing, and that was a few years ago, and now you're seeing like those girls who, you know, giving back to the community, and to see an all-girls team. Yeah, hopefully, you know, it's the future of rugby is going to change where you see more girls playing.
Hard out, it's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. We now head inside the Fijian camp with Nemani Nadolo. Very, very lucky. Bula Vanaka Nemani, I'm not sure what Izzy said to you at the airport to get you on the Zoom, but we're thankful. Tell us what Fiji has gone through in this test week to get here, because the last time you guys played, your team was ravaged with COVID in the November series, and we know players have just come out of quarantine and everything that's going on back home as well.
Well, guys, yeah, it's been not your usual start to a tour, I guess, but we're used to this, I guess. We're in a similar camp, was in a similar situation back in November. We're all in lockdown for 4 to 5 weeks. So the good thing is, the boys have taken a lot of lessons out of that, and we're pretty close for it.
Bulavanaka, Nems, just with the COVID situation back in Fiji, how are the players coping with, obviously, their families under a whole lot of stress? How are you guys sort of dealing with that inside the camp?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. We've had some loved ones pass on during some of the boys' families have passed on, and it's a bit disappointing. It's really sad, to be honest. And usually the boys would go back to Fiji after this tour, but we've just been told that we've got to head back to Europe. So some of these guys won't be able to see their families after this tour. So it's a big sacrifice that some of these boys have had to do to come on this tour.
Hey, bro, we just want to offer our condolences to your team and all your fellow team members. Much love to all your family back in Fiji. We are thinking of you, and thank you so much for sharing that. I can't imagine what you guys are going through. So thank you for being here, but I just want to talk about the game, mate. Obviously against the All Blacks this week. Big moment for you boys to go out there and, go out there and do battle and represent your country on your chest.
100%, mate. We're really up for this game. We've and like you said, a lot of off-field stuff we've had to face, but a lot of us guys have never played the All Blacks. I think no one in the squad has ever played the All Blacks. So as you guys know, playing rugby, you want to compete against the best and test yourself against the best. And we've got a perfect opportunity this Saturday to test ourselves against ultimately one of the best teams in the world. So the boys are excited, and at the end of the day, we play for what's on our chest, and that's what I love about this team. And no matter what we go through, we know we're playing for more than just a jersey. And like I said, the boys have got a lot to play for. Our family and friends are struggling back home, and to take that field this weekend, hopefully we can put a smile on their faces.
Kia ora, Nemani. Thank you for, giving us this opportunity to chat to you. I feel quite privileged knowing exactly what is going home behind the scenes with COVID. My question is more around Vern Cotter, the coach. You're known as the Fijian flair. How much of his, coaching experience is he going to come in and allow you to play that flair with freedom, or is he going to have more of a structured for this weekend against the All Blacks?
No, the one thing Vern has done since he's taken the job is he's allowed us to play our game and allowed us to express ourselves within, the structure. With throwing in a bit of structure, and the good thing about Vern is he's a bit of a grumpy old guy. So, when he shouts and gets angry, to make sure you fix what he wants you to do. So, but no, mate. He, not only Vern, but also we've got Jace Ryan, and we've got Jacko on board as well. And this coaching staff is a really good coach staff, and we're blessed to have them in the squad.
Well, Nems, quickly, when we play for the Crusaders, we'll just give you the ball one off the ruck or one off the line out. If you see David Havili, are you going to run straight in or what?
Well, mate, thankfully we've got a few big boys in the team that will be doing that. So hopefully I'll just be getting the ball and putting over the try line.
Cannot wait to see it.
I guess let the bigger guys in the team do it.
Bulavanaka, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Present
that was
with
amazing.
You and your family, brother.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Heartbreaking to hear what that team is going through. I don't think any of us knew that.
Unbelievable, yeah. It is heartbreaking to think that they're going to have to go out there and try to play for their families and with this.
I can't wait to see them play now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that Fiji
some flair. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that game coming up on Saturday night. Next week, Niall Williams joins us on the show, so make sure you're here for that one. I'm
Enjoy
off to the Tokyo Olympics. So
Hopefully
I get out of there alive, so I'll see you in about 5 weeks' time. But these guys will look after you. Have a great weekend.
vecchiaida tornar di Lauricinto dirti per teu cugnato